The Judas in your life. When I was younger, my mother warned me about friends. She gave me an example of a girl she considered to be her friend back in her late teens. She said she told all her secrets to that girl, but when it was time to receive the same courtesy, the girl told her secrets that basically was already public knowledge. And after they fell out, she outed all my mother's secrets. And every time I came home and talked about a girl I considered my friend in primary school, my mother said, "Diane, I know you consider that girl to be your friend, but I'm sure she doesn't feel the same way about you." In my mind, that was far from the truth because that girl stood up for me, okay? When I first came to Antigua from Dominica and the other students were mocking my accent, like she stood up for me. If she wasn't my friend, she wouldn't have helped me, mother. Every break and lunchtime we played together and we talked about all kinds of things, but mostly the difference between Dominica and Antigua. Of course she was my friend. That's what friends do, isn't it? After graduating from primary school, we left on good terms. Or so I thought, because it came as a surprise to me when I got news from her cousin about what she said about me. She said to her cousin she personally saw myself along with two other classmates in the field near our school in the bush with some senior boys losing our virginities? Like, okay, that caught me off guard. I was appalled, but most of all, I was sad because my mother told me years ago to keep away from that girl. She isn't your friend. That phrase taunted me. Okay, and that made me relive all the sly things she said to me in school. Like, how could you have not seen this, Diane? Judas stayed around Jesus because of the perks, like the fame, and not to mention the money, because after all, he was the one who was designated to hold the money bags. You know, a treasurer, if you will. Just knowing that I was the new kid in school, she wanted to have dibs on the new toy. There was a time nail files were in, it was a thing, and she brought one to school. And she said, "You see this? This is only for people with nails." She asked me to show her my nails, and at that time I had a really bad habit of biting my nails down to the flesh due to anxiety. Now, she said with a smirk, "Yeah, tools like this can't do anything for your nails." She also had a habit of biting her nails, but for that moment, I guess she grew hers out just a little to prove a point. Like, when I say a little, I mean like this. And then she walked off filing her nails. I know, I drifted, but I just had to insert that right there. Her cousin told me what she said after being around me for a while because we were now in the same secondary school together. And all the things that my so-called ex-best friend told her about me basically didn't add up because she has been around me for this long. There was a school fair that our primary school held every year, and normally the new graduates would always go back just to visit, and I knew she would have been there. Now, the secondary school I went to was considered ghetto, and the school she was going to was considered the school for all the bright girls. So she walked up to me and said, "Hey Diane, how is your new school treating you?" I disregarded the shade and hopped right to the point. I asked her when exactly did she see the other girls and myself in the bush with the senior guys. That caught her off guard because of the way that she stared at me as though she was a deer in headlights. She said her cousin's name and asked if she told me. I replied, "For a girl who is so smart and passed to go to that school, you have absolutely no street smart. Look how I caught you in your own lie. I never said who told me, and that tells me everything. I can't believe I considered you a friend, and friends don't say things like that about each other." she quickly added, "Why would you believe my cousin? She's crazy. She say all kinds of things to get attention." I felt my anger growing and just decided to walk away. I need everyone under the sound of my voice to hear me and hear me well. You have a Judas in your camp, okay? Think about it. Judas didn't suddenly become who he is when he betrayed Jesus. He was that way all along. The same goes for friends you think are your friends. They don't just turn on you out of the blue and become an enemy. They have always been that way, okay? They have always had something against you. Now, you can't see it because of the loyalty you have in you. Yeah, I've heard what my mother said about friends, and I have experienced on more than one occasion where she shaded me. But because of that one good deed she did when I first came to school and everyone was picking on me, I quickly forgave all her transgressions because that's what a friend does. And after going through life, I have realized that people will often act nice and sometimes even do nice things for you so they can just get close to you. You have a Judas sitting in your friend position, okay? Be careful. Those people will listen to your dreams and slowly but surely deter you from ever going after that dream. Be careful. You have a Judas in your family. Yes, family can also be dangerous, especially when you know what you're supposed to do was sent to you by God, and because they're family, you listen to their counsel. Do you remember Abraham? And when God told him to leave his family and his kindred, there's a reason for that. Family members can also be detrimental to God's plan in your life. Be vigilant when it comes to that person that your gut is telling you is the Judas in your life. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smush that bell notification button so you can get more videos from me. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Later.